Hey friends, Hattie here with Honeybee Stampers, and in today's video I'm going to be doing our video tutorial for the Sweet and Simple card class for August of 2023. These are the projects that I designed for our Sweet and Simple card class. We've already held the class in person here in my studio in Sumter, South Carolina, and now this is my opportunity to put the cards together for those of you who order the kits to go. So the to-go option is great because you'll get the entire kit sent to you. Now there's no stamps that are included and there's no ink that's included, and no stamped images are included either. So please be aware of that. But I have designed these projects and prepped these projects in a way that when you get your kits, you can either use product that you already have, or you can purchase on my online store the products that I'm using so that your cards look exactly like mine. Or maybe you're a hobby demonstrator or even a demonstrator who's running this as a business and you're wanting some inspiration, and you probably already have all the product I've used, because I try my very best to use current products so that when you see the projects in real time, or actually when you see the video go live, and you see something you really want, you have the opportunity to still purchase that product. Now, if you're watching this video and this stuff has retired, then just get really creative with things that you have on hand. Okay, so I'm excited to put these projects together for you guys, so we will just get started. The kit is going to come like this. If you get it in the mail, I actually do kind of fold down these taller cards that look like this. I fold them down and package them up like this so that they fit in the envelope that I ship them in. So just be aware of that. But when they come to class, they get them in a little baggie like that. And let's just go ahead and start with this card. Okay. So this is a card that features the artistically inked stamp set and the dies that coordinate with it. This has carried over from catalog to catalog, and I have not had a chance to play with it until recently. And so I absolutely love this die. There's so many different things you can do with it. And so I just had to do it. I had to do something with it. So you'll see here that you're going to get the die cut. So even if you didn't have this die set, you're going to get the die cut already sent to you, and you may have to kind of poke these little pieces out, or maybe you like the little pieces kind of stuck in there. It's up to you. So you'll have that. You're going to get your gems that you need for the project as well. And I've already started by folding down the card base. And then you're going to have two pieces of basic white in your kit. The smaller one's going to go on the front of the card, and the larger one goes on the inside. So set that to the side. So for the smaller one, we are going to take this, I don't know what this is called. To me, it looks like they took maybe alcohol ink that you've seen, like alcohol markers, then you use that technique. And it looks like they used a straw or something and blew on it to create these images. And I'm sure they have a video out there that shows you how they did it. I love when Stampin' Up! Does that, where they kind of show you the inspiration. We're going to use some Starry Sky, which is an in color. And I just took and stamped partially off of the page, but in the center, like that. And then I inked it up again. And I flipped my stamp. So originally had it this way. Now I'm flipping it over this way and stamping. Okay, so I wanted it to look kind of like a continuation of that image. And actually, let's, if you wanted to stamp on the inside, of course you could do that. I won't do that today in today's video, but my customers that come always have that option. Now we're going to take this piece here and we are going to layer it. Okay. I'm going to layer it onto a piece of Starry Sky as well. And it just gives the tiniest little bit of a border around the card. You're going to get 2 of these pieces here. This is our gold distressed paper. This was a carryover item as well, and it comes in 2 sheets of 12 by 12, and I think it's only $5 if I remember correctly, but it's beautiful paper. And I didn't want to waste a whole strip going all the way across here, so I'm just putting, and I'm just eyeballing here. If you wanted to line it up like this on your grid mat, that's a good reason to use your grid mat there, to be able to line it up and make it perfectly even. So there's that. And then of course dimensionals. Gotta have dimensionals. Love using dimensionals. So we're gonna put, well, I'll use 5 to pop this center piece up. Okay. And we'll just set that right there in the center of the card. We're gonna take this piece here, and I really like to use glue dots to adhere things like this, or if you have the fine tip glue pen, you could use that, or you could even die cut this with, you know, we've got the adhesive sheets, and you could put the adhesive sheets on the back of the gold paper and then die cut it that way. Okay, let me see how this is gonna fit here. Let's put one right here. Oops. This is so light that it doesn't really need much. And then you're also going to secure it with your sentiment. So I kind of like how it pops up off the page like that for you. Now we're going to take and we're going to stamp the happy birthday that was in this stamp set. I'm going to use our embossing buddy. We sell the embossing buddy with our embossing toolkit, which is great. It's got a pan that comes with it. It's got a brush, and it's got tweezers so that you can hold on to your item when you're heating it up, not burn your fingers. So let's see, I'm just gonna clean this off. I literally just finished with the class, and so I haven't had a chance to clean the kits or anything like that yet. We'll use some Versamark ink. Get some ink on there and stamp happy birthday. There we go. Some people like to use a spoon. I find the spoon makes it really messy. I like to kind of just shimmy and shake my sentiment or whatever I've embossed in and keep it kind of all contained without lifting it up. So there's that. And then we'll flick off the excess on both sides. And I see I've got a little bit on there. Okay, now let me just step away for a second. I'm gonna heat emboss this. I usually heat emboss things ahead of time so that I'm not spending any time doing that on the videos, but that didn't take too long, right? Okay, so we're going to add some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm going to use 3 just so that it's nice and sturdy, and then we don't have a dip in the middle. Okay, and we'll stick that on the card right about there. Okay, so this is one of the really easy, quick ones to put together. I was told in class that these cards were, although they were easy, they were a little bit more work than my typical cards, but I think that they're just gorgeous. I try to do as much of the prep work ahead of time so that I can continue to call it a Sweet and Simple card class. But the projects, oh, they're just stunning. Okay, so we're gonna stick one right here. And then I'm gonna stick this one, let's see here. Where do I wanna stick this? We'll stick this one up. We'll stick one right there. There we go. Okay, and that card is done. Let me set that aside and we'll move on to our next project. Okay, this next card is another quick and simple one. absolutely love how this turned out. This is one of my favorite sweets in the catalog. It's called Gorgeously Made. It's the stamp set, and then there's coordinating dies that go with it, and the dies are absolutely beautiful. So let's get these pieces out. Okay, you guys will have to give me some feedback as to whether or not you enjoy watching me put these projects together. I do this video tutorial because, like I said, I have people that order these kits to go, and I want them to see how I've put the kits together myself and what product I've used. But I know that a lot of times people will get the kits even though they don't have all the product, and they'll do something different. So as you'll see with this kit, you're going to get all these pieces here, right? And so you really could come up with your own sentiment there if you want, if you didn't have the stamp set, and it would work out perfectly. So let's start by stamping here. We're going to use some fresh Freesia ink, and you don't have to stamp off on this. This is light enough. These are kind of some distressed wording, so you want to make sure that you've got it in the right direction. It's directional, and I'm just going to stamp it full force right there. Okay, so pretty. And then I'm going to stamp our sentiment. Oh, and I left my other ink over here. Hold on. We're creating swap cards for our leadership event that I'm going to in Las Vegas, and it's going to need some pretty peacocks. So now I'm going to stamp the sentiment thank you right at the bottom here, just like that. I just love how that looks. It looks so good. Okay, close that up. Now I do want to do a little bit more stamping. It's going to be tone on tone. We've got this big image here that I'd like to add to the card front. So I'm just going to ink it up, and with this flap open, I'm going to stamp kind of going up that way. And then I'm going to rotate it and stamp it going down this way. And then you'll see it's a little messy right there in the middle, but that's okay because it's going to get covered up. And I maybe should have brought it out a little bit more so that it came out a little bit, but I'm good with it. Now what you want to do is for the inside portion, you want to take this gorgeous designer series paper here. And again, there are some words on here, so it's directional when you get this. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. And then you're going to adhere it to the right-hand side, just lining it right up. If it happens to be a little bit over the edge, then you can trim it up if you need to do that. And then I'm going to, let me see, did I stamp on the inside? Well, I didn't, but you could. You absolutely could stamp again on the inside of this card. Oh, you're going to get those gems included as well. And then we're going to stick this right there. Another thing I'd love to hear from you guys, let me adhere this flap down, is if you would like a more detailed description of the products that I've used. I don't always do that, so if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know that. And let's see, we've got this designer series paper. Look how bright and pretty this side is. I hate to cover it up, but we're gonna just use this one again. Look at the words on there because it's directional. And honestly, they're so faint and so small that if you do happen to put it upside down, totally fine. It's okay. Okay, so now with this label here, we want to make sure that we only put dimensionals on one side because we don't want, let's put one right here. And then we'll put two more on the ends here, like that. Okay. We don't want to put a dimensional over here and end up closing our card. That would not be good. Okay, so actually, let me move it over a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then for this one, again, you may have some pieces that are still stuck in there that you can take out. You can poke it out if you have a take your pick tool. There we go. And then for this, I would like to use some liquid adhesive. So I'll take some of our green glue. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get it flowing, especially when I've used it almost all the way up. Oh, it came right out. So we'll just add a little bit of green glue. Don't need a whole lot. Okay, and then I'm going to stick this right about there. Okay. Love it, I love it, I love it. Now let's take our gems here. Love these sequin, and we're going to stick one here. I think bling just is such a needed touch on most of your cards. I really do. And then I'm gonna actually, well, yeah, we'll keep it down here. There we go. And now this card is done. It's a fun fold, super simple to put together. We'll just set that to the side. Okay, we are moving right along. Let us grab our next project. Okay, for this one, we're gonna use some stenciling. So this is a fun fold card, and I offered a class using this stamp set, and it was a technique class called it's a Softly Sketch Soft Pastels technique class featuring this. And I love this stamp set so much that I decided to design something with it. So this is what I came up with. It's another fun fold card, very easy to put together. And let's grab all of the pieces for that. Now, if you get the kit in the mail, then you know, you can measure out the pieces before you assemble them and, you know, get your little tutorial together. When I do classes, like for instance, with the chalk class with this, I do a full-on tutorial. I do a video tutorial for it, and I do a written tutorial that gives you all of the measurements and all the products that I use. But for Sweet and Simple card class, I wanted to keep that sweet and simple as well. So I only do this video tutorial. And so if you want the measurements, then you're gonna wanna buy a kit for yourself, and you can go ahead and measure and get all those measurements. Okay, so here, when you get this, I will have scored everything for you, so it's really easy to put together. But you're gonna take and you're going to fold this first score line here. Okay, that's gonna be kind of the base of your card in a sense. And then you're gonna fold this score line back, okay? So hopefully you're following me here. And then you're going to fold this score line this way. And so it's almost like an accordion. So you're zigzagging like this, okay? I was inspired to create this after our paper pumpkin kits. Oh my gosh. Last month's paper pumpkin kit, Fun in the Sun, was so amazing. It was a fun fold. All of the cards were fun folds, and they were gorgeous. They actually have them on sale in the online store. So if you're interested in that, you don't even have, the refill kits are only like $11 or just over 11. And they're just such a great deal. And you don't even need the stamp set really, because all the pieces that came in that kit work so well together. They're beautiful. Okay, so now for this, we're gonna use this stencil here. This stencil is in the annual catalog, and surprisingly, I don't have an annual catalog sitting right by me. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll have to reach for one in a minute. But what I told everybody to do is we're going to take the Pebbled Path ink, and we're going to take one of the smaller brushes. So we have these brushes in 2 sizes. So this is the smaller size. And what I did was I just kind of lined this up so it was kind of symmetrical in a way. So just like this. So there's a little bit of symmetry when I'm looking at it, as far as, you know, these diamonds lining up and this point lining up here. It doesn't have to be that particular, but I just wanted to do it that way. Now I'm going to tap this on the ink pad, and then you have to make sure that you tap off first before you start to add the color to your paper. Otherwise you're going to get these big blotches. Now I found that just one application of the ink was enough, because I really don't want to saturate this card, I just want to add this very subtle pattern to the back of the card. And I'm not going all the way down to the bottom or all the way to the top or all the way to the edges, okay? So there is my finished product there. And I probably should have avoided this a little bit more. I like how it's a little bit fainter around the edges like that, but that's okay. All right, now we're gonna come in with our cotton image and we're gonna ink this up. This is a distinctive stamp set, which means that there's so much great detail. And we're going to stamp this right in the center, but slightly towards the top. So we're going to add our sentiment in here too. There we go. Beautiful. And then this, I just hope, or just hope you know, ... is going to go on the bottom. I think that looks so good together. Let me close, oh, actually, I don't want to close that up because I need it. You're going to have a smaller piece that's going to go on the inside of your card. And what I did with this one is let me clean off my stamp here. Okay, dry it off a little bit. I just inked up this top portion, or at least I attempted to. Maybe a little bit more and a little bit more. Okay, so I just wanted to ink up that top portion right there. And I'm gonna stamp in the center-ish of this cardstock. There we go. Oops, that's all right. And then we're going to stamp the rest of the sentiment. So the front of it said, just hope you know, and the inside is gonna say, how amazing you really are. And that's gonna go right there, okay? So that's going on the inside of the card. All right, so we've done our stamping, so easy. You're gonna get these little tiny pieces of designer series paper also. You're gonna wanna put those on before you assemble your card base. So these two are gonna go along the sides here. And I actually got this designer series paper from a completely different pack that I have not even played with yet. Let's see, what is it called? It's this paper pack and it's called Earthen Elegance. So I've seen great things with that. That's the one that has those flower pots and such. I have not had a chance to play with it myself yet, but I needed some pebbled path with a little bit of a very vanilla look to it. And this was perfect. So you're just going to add these on. You're going to have a little bit of a border around it. Okay, so that's that. You guys can see which side that goes on, right? And then we're going to do the same thing with these smaller ones on the front. So here, and we'll just add one there. And the same here. There we go. Okay, now I hope you guys are all tracking with me. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually flip this over, okay, on this side, and I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this inside piece. So this is essentially the inside where you would write and send a little message, okay, and it closes like that, okay, so you're following there, okay, and then I'm gonna add this to this piece. So this is that second piece that's already scored for you and folded in half, or folded at the score line. And I did want to add a little bit of this element here. This is just some of our Pebbled Path in color ribbon. It's like a woven ribbon, and it comes in every one of the new in colors. It's really cool. I'm gonna take a glue dot and just pinch that together, just like that. And then I will place that on here in just a second. Let's see, well, I could do it now. So then I'll take another glue dot and stick it right on here like that. And then I want it to go right around here. That's good. And now I'm gonna add some dimensionals to the back of this. You could put a dimensional kind of over that ribbon if you wanted to, but I think the glue dot's gonna hold it in place, no problem. Okay. This is a trick that I've seen other demonstrators do where they take the backings off with that. I love that idea. Sometimes I forget to do it. And then we're going to center that on this piece. Okay, so you guys see we've got these two pieces going here, right? Now we got to assemble these two pieces together. The first thing you're going to want to do is put some adhesive across the bottom here. And then I'll put some across there, okay? That bottom flap. And with it folded down, I'm going to go ahead and line up this piece with the bottom of this cardstock, but in the center. So with the bottom, lining it up at the bottom here, but in the center of this card. There we go. Okay, so that bottom piece is adhered. Now we're going to add some adhesive to the top. And you're just gonna add it to the top right there. That's all it really needs, okay? And while it's all folded down like this, you're just gonna fold this straight down and adhere it. So now it's flat when you go to transport this or send this through the mail. And then when they get it, when the recipient gets it, they can stand it up like that. So you can see how it stands up. So cool, so cool. And then I have these rustic embellishments that I love. And we'll add one right here. I know you're supposed to use the putty tip, and I see why when I'm chasing these embellishments around with that tip there. You're supposed to use the putty tip to pick up your embellishments. It'll make your life so much easier. And sometimes I just forget to do that. So let's do it right there. All right, that's good. Okay, now that card is done. One of my favorite cards of the grouping. I say this every month. I really do think these cards are the cutest. And then next month I'll design some more, 6 more, and I'll think those are cuter. Okay, so now let's go on to our next one. So we've got 3 cards down. Okay, we'll do this one next. So this is a card that I kind of did as a preview. This one does take a little finessing because it's 2-step stamping. So with my team, every month we do mystery stamping. And this was the card that I designed. It had a bow on it. Anyways, this was the card that I designed for mystery stamping for my team, the Beehive. Every month we do that. It's so fun. I design a card and then I give them the measurements, and then they grab whatever products that they want to use, and then I put my card together for them in our online meeting, and then they put their cards in together in tandem with me, and then we share with each other what our cards turned out looking like, and they're always different. So this card right here was just a fun fold. Every month it's a fun fold, and it opens up like that. Okay, so because it's Sweet and Simple Card Class, I wanted to simplify it a little bit, and so that's why I came up with this card. So this is a really simple card that just opens up regular. All right, let's grab all the pieces here. When you get your kit, it'll look like this. And surprisingly, I didn't have any embellishments added to this one. I love to fold my card base and get that out of the way. So that's ready to go. And actually, while I'm working on that, I might as well work on this piece right here. So you're gonna have a piece of this ribbon. This ribbon also carried over from the last mini catalog. And it's a combo ribbon that actually comes with a real red spool as well. It's a different style of ribbon, but it does come together. So I just added some adhesive on the ends there, and then eyeballed it, try to make it even across there, just like that. And then we're going to add some adhesive, and we're gonna put this directly on our card front. It's just a bit of a smaller layer, and it's embossed, so it gives it some character. There. Okay, that's looking good. All right, now we've got these couple pieces here. We're gonna use this stamp. This is, oh, I don't have the sticker on there. This is a background stamp. Here it is. It's called Sketched Plaid, and I love, love, love it. It's gonna be great for the holidays. I need to actually sit down a little bit. I'm standing to do this video and my feet are starting to hurt. Okay, and I had plantar fasciitis, you guys. Oh my gosh, I had it so badly. We're gonna take some Real Red and ink up. We just need like a couple, 1, 2, 3, these 3 rows here inked up. But I had plantar fasciitis so bad for like over a year. Oh my gosh, it was so painful. It was terrible. And I went and I ended up getting these shoes. Take your crumb cake paper, and I always tell people, okay, to place this, make sure that's inked up good, okay. I'm gonna place this here because I want as much of those stripes to be showing as possible. And then you bring your, oh geez. Everybody complained at our at our class that the red ink is the worst because it gets everywhere, and it does, especially when you do stuff like this. But it's such a beautiful color. Our Real Red is so rich and beautiful. Okay, so you're gonna put that over the top and you're gonna do that. Okay, anyway, so I went and I got a pair of shoes. Voila, so pretty. From Fleet Feet or Fleet Foot or something like that, some store like that. And it was great, but then it didn't really like get rid of my plantar fasciitis. So I had to go back, and they got me a pair of inserts. Hold on a second. Needed to get some scrap paper for our truck. Okay, you're gonna need this. And I got some inserts that were specifically for plantar fasciitis, and they're just as expensive as the shoes, but I'm not kidding. It literally eradicated my plantar fasciitis. I mean, it was instantaneous almost, and I was so thrilled. And they say that the insert's supposed to last you for a year or 2 or something like that, but I think I might need to get another one already. We'll see. Okay, so this is that coveted truck stamp set, and I don't even see it on my table here. I don't know where it is right now, but it coordinates with this truck punch, and it is such a fun one, and it's sold out twice now, and it's slotted to come back in October. So keep your eyes peeled for that if it's something that you're interested in. But like I said, it does take a little finessing to get used to. So what you're gonna do is, I found that stamping the solid image first for this particular one was easier to do and to be able to line things up. So we're gonna take some Real Red and we're gonna ink up our truck. And I'm gonna stamp it right here. Okay, beautiful. Off to a good start. And then we're gonna take some crumb cake ink, and we're gonna take the outline of the truck and ink that up. Okay, now I gotta concentrate because I'm gonna hover over it until it looks like it's lined up. My camera's in the way though a little bit. Let me just bring it down. Okay. It looks good. And when you stamp over it, it's gonna give you that detail. So I'm off just a little bit on the front, but that's not the end of the world. And then you've got these tires here. You could, of course, color them in if you want to, but this actually comes with this stamp right here that colors the tires in. So we're gonna ink that up in crumb cake as well. I need to bring it down to hover. Okay, and now we've got that truck stamped for us. I love that feature. All right, let's take our truck punch. And you're just gonna feed it in through the top here. And this punch is like a punch builder. So you can either stamp it like I've done it and punch it out. Hold on, I'm trying to get it lined up. Or you can punch out just regular cardstock and build a truck with it. Okay, so there's that. Now you're gonna have this smaller piece of Very Vanilla in your stash. And what you wanna do is, we've got a stamp that looks like the road. We're gonna ink it up in our crumb cake. And I stamped off on this one because I didn't want the road to be super, just kind of stand out as much. So I stamped it right there. And then what I suggested to my customers is to take that truck stamp and stamp it just above. Okay. I have it moved forward a little bit too much, but that's okay. Nope, that's gonna bother me. No, it won't. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Okay, so now we're gonna take these little tree, and we've got some garden green ink, and we're gonna take this first tree image and ink it up, and then we're gonna stamp off because I want this to be a little bit lighter, and we're gonna stamp it right in that truck like that. Okay, and then we're gonna take the detailed tree stamp and we're going to just stamp over it like that. Isn't that so cool? Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll take the truck that we had punched out earlier, and we're gonna pop that up over that shadowed truck. There we go. Now we don't even see that little shadow truck. And then we're going to find the sentiment stamp, which is somewhere. Oh, right in front of my face. And then we're going to ink it up. It says, wishing you a festive Christmas. Love it. Love the font. Love everything about it. We're going to stamp that across the top. Oh my gosh. Is that not cute? I just think that's the cutest thing. This would be such a great Christmas gift card. Okay, now that we've done all this, let me close up some of these. Oh, actually, I can't. I'm going to close up the green because we're not going to use that again. But we're going to stamp a little bit on the inside of the card. Okay, so now I did a lot of dimensionals and layering on this one. Let's see. We're going to stick this. These tutorials, video tutorials, typically take me an hour to film. So hopefully you guys are maybe crafting in your room or just relaxing with something like a hot drink or something, or even just any drink, and enjoying the video. I would love to hear from you guys if you're watching over on YouTube, your thoughts on some of these cards, some of these projects, anything you'd like to share with me. I would love that. And if you're not already a subscriber, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And feel free to share this video as well. Okay, so I wanted to put all of these popped up just because I didn't do, that's kind of the reason why I didn't do gems, is because I felt like I was just kind of already embellishing it with all of those layers there. So there is that card. It's actually really simple to put together and it's just gorgeous. Okay, actually, I threw that to the side, but I wanted to show you guys how to stamp the inside. So you're gonna have another piece that goes on the inside, and you're going to have these little stamps here. So I would take this stamp, which is the outline stamp. Let me make sure it's cleaned off. Okay. And we're gonna ink it up in real red. And what I did was I just stamped across the bottom here like that. And they kind of just really flow so well together right next to each other. And since it's photopolymer, you can see right through it. And there we go. You're just gonna keep going. Well, you know what, what will happen is I'll put this card away and then I won't finish this. And then I'll get this card and wanna send it and it's not done. So let's do one more right there. Okay, isn't that so cute? I just love, love, love this. Now we want to take our inside piece. So there's a stamp that also works with this. Where is it? Right in front of my face again. And we're going to, this is kind of the filler stamp, and I'm gonna do it in crumb cake. My thought process was, okay, you know, they used some craft paper to wrap there. Oops, and I forgot I totally stamped off on this. So here, I'll show you what it looks like stamped off. I said to myself, they use craft paper to wrap their gifts. Okay, so you can see there, I really like that better. And now I kind of have to keep up with this theme of having it dark and then light. So tip from me to you, stamp off. Stamp off, it looks better. And then this one's full force. And then we'll stamp off. And this one's full force. Okay, there we go. So cute. All right, now that card's done. Let's put these pieces away and we're gonna move on to our next card. Usually with Sweet and Simple, it's a lot of just like a little bit of stamping and a lot of assembling. It makes it easy, right? But today, or this month's class, we just definitely had a lot of little stamping work to do, and I don't think anybody was too mad about that. All right, here's our next card. It's so cute. It's a baby card. And let me find the pieces for this. Here it is. Okay. So this is the stamp set I used for this. It's called Little Dreamers, and it comes with, it's a red rubber stamp, a cling stamp, and it comes with a coordinating die, which is great. And then here are the pieces for that card. So look at all this stuff that I already cut and prepped for you. Well, at least my helper does. My friend Becky helps me out, and so she does a lot of the work. Let's see. Okay, now let's get this out. And I wanted this piece on here. You might have some little pieces like that again. Too easy to punch out, so forgive me if that's included. Consider it an added bonus. Now we're going to put this directly onto our card front. I just wanted a little detail around the edges, and for some reason this stitching around the edges, or this scallop edge, reminds me of a baby card. Okay, there we go. There's our card base. Okay, now you're going to have two pieces of basic white. One's a little bit smaller than the other. That's the one that's going to go on the front. Let me get this card out so you can see it there. And then you're going to have two pieces of designer series paper. Okay. Okay. So what I need you to do is take the designer series paper, the larger one, and kind of set it towards the top, and then the smaller one towards the bottom, just like that. And your designer series paper might be different. It might be a different pattern. It might look like this. Well, if you got this, you'd get one of these two, right? It might be one of the other ones. So don't fret, it's still correct. You can still use that. So anyways, I'm setting that there because I want to know where to stamp my sentiment. Now we're going to take, let me grab the ink. Okay, we're going to use some basic gray for this. Little Baby Big Love, love it. And I'm just going to stamp it as far to the right as I can. Okay, just like that. I want to make sure that there's room for my elephant. And then once I've done that, I can go ahead and add this paper. The reason I didn't in the beginning is in case I don't love where I stamped it, then I could flip the card over, the cardstock over, and stamp again. Okay, and then down here. Oh no, got some of my red ink off my fingernail right there. All right, now we're gonna take this really pretty ribbon. Oh, actually I put it on. We're gonna add this to here. Let me make sure I didn't pop it up. Yep. We'll put this on this smoky slate piece. Okay, and then we're gonna wrap wrap this ribbon around it. And at least I've got this ribbon to kind of cover up that little boo-boo there. Okay. This is a great ribbon. This is a soft seafoam ribbon, just like the paper. And it ties really well. So once you've got it tied, you can kind of start to finagle with it and fix it and make it as cute as you want it to be. And so then I would just move it down like that a little bit, like that. All right, so then this is going to go onto my card base with some dimensionals. So let's grab those dimensionals. I'll retie that bow later, but I just want to make sure you guys get the gist of it. Make sure it opens correctly. And then we're going to center that on the card. So that card is looking good already. And like if you don't have this sentiment, you can use something that you already have. If you don't have this elephant, you can use something else that you already have. Okay, so let's see here. Now we want some scrap paper. I thought I grabbed some, I did. We're gonna stamp this elephant. Again, in the basic gray. Okay. And then I included, ooh, almost dropped that. I included some Petal Pink ink, and what I did was I recommended that they make a little cheek in Petal Pink, and then they color the ear. And my friend Franny, she actually made little toes. You know how the elephant has those little toenails? So she did that as well. And then you're gonna take the light smoky slate. So we're not using dark smoky slate on this one. We're just gonna do light. And all you need to do is outline the elephant. And I won't do the whole thing just to save on time for you guys, because I do have one more card to do that's gonna require some coloring as well. So I would outline the entire elephant, and then I would come in and color it in. Watch out for that pink. You wanna leave that space untouched. Okay, and then once you've colored the entire elephant, you're gonna come back again, and I recommend outlining the elephant one more time. So you don't need to use the two-tone color for this. You're just gonna re-outline where you've already colored, and you will see a variation in the color. And then if you wanted to come back in again and kind of accentuate those little lines there that the artist has created, you can do that. So when you see it, you'll see that I've outlined it once, colored it all in, went back and outlined it again, and it just gives the elephant a little bit more, I don't know, interest, I guess. So then we've got a die cut that would die cut out this elephant for you perfectly, and then you would add it to your card front with Stampin' Dimensionals. I won't do that because, like I said, I need to move on to the next card so that you guys can see how we put that together before the hour is up. All right, and then you've got these little iridescent pearls that will be a part of your kit as well that you'll put on this card. So there's that card, Little Baby Big Love. I absolutely love it. So cute. You can't go wrong with having a baby card in your stash. All right, for our last card, this was a fan favorite for sure. It's this angel. And this stamp set is actually an online exclusive. It sold out and it came back. So let me show you what that one looks like. So Very Merry is the stamp set, and it's kind of has a stained glass, I guess, motif or like theme to it. And so I picked this image right here with the angel to color in. And then I also brought in Hope and Peace. This is another stamp set that's only available, like you can only see it online. It's not in our current catalog, but it is available, and it's an awesome holiday stamp set. And so I wanted to feature that. And then we also use the music notes here for the embossing folder. So let me show you how we put this together. Your kit is going to come looking like this. Okay. And these are brand new embellishments as well that are an online exclusive. They're like metallic embellishments, and they're beautiful. They've come in, I think, 4 different colors, and I grabbed the silver since we're using silver embossing powder and all that. I just thought it would work well together. Okay, so we're gonna take this here and here. All right, we're gonna do the same thing as we did with the truck. We're gonna add some dimension to our card by putting a dry embossed layer. It's gonna be color on color. And I just absolutely love how this turns out every single time. Okay, let me make sure I don't have this upside down. It needs to go this way. Okay. I actually had one of my customers place hers upside down. So we joked around that she would just give that to somebody who couldn't see very well or someone who wasn't very musically inclined. And I think she decided to give it to a friend who did know music, just to be funny. So there's that. All right, this goes on the inside. And then you're gonna have this strip here that you need to go on the front. I don't think I included any scrap paper with the kit, so you're gonna have to have your own scrap paper for this. Sorry, guys. All right, so now we're gonna grab this scrap paper out that I have, and I'm going to heat emboss. So let's get our embossing buddy activated here. And we'll take our stamp and ink it up in some Versamark. I'm making quite the mess on my desk right now. It happens every time. So we're gonna ink up our angel in some Versamark here, and I'm gonna stamp it right here. My tip, and actually I should have had my little foam piece under here, but I think it'll be okay. My tip to you is always to stamp and emboss your object and color. So I'm going to take this spoon out because, like I said, I do not like to use the spoon. It ends up making a bigger mess, and I just like to shimmy and shake like this. So then once you add that, we're gonna heat it up, and then I highly recommend you color, and then you punch it out so that you're not chasing your image all over. Oh, I was wondering what that was. It was embossing buddy. All right, so let's close this up. Okay. There's our angel, and it's got the embossing powder on it, but wait until you see what it looks like when I heat emboss it. My cord won't reach, so I can't emboss with you guys watching to see the magic on this. I just love this. But you can see here, hopefully you can see the difference. So that's really dark gray. It hasn't been embossed yet. Okay, sorry, I couldn't reach. So now it's completely embossed. You can see how beautiful that turned out. You will see that when you're embossing it, sometimes it'll have like some holes in the embossing or like bubbly look. If you keep the heat on that area, it'll start to smooth out. That just means it hasn't melted all the way. But if you, like I said, without burning the paper, if you keep the heat in that area a little bit longer, it should smooth out. Now, this color is Coastal Cabana, but we actually don't have any Coastal Cabana Stampin' Blends. So I went ahead and grabbed our Pool Party, and actually it worked. So what I recommend to do is to color with the dark Pool Party every other, I don't know, section of the stained glass, the circle part. And then you're gonna come with the lighter Pool Party. Let me go on this side. Okay. And you're gonna do the lighter Pool Party. Is this, oh geez, Hattie. They're both dark. Okay, so if you do something like that, then you can use your color lifter to lighten it up. Or you can go in and do a little bit of a darker on this one. Okay, let me show you what it would look like if I had done it correctly. So here is the lighter Pool Party. I'm gonna use the bullet tip for this. Oops. So dark, light, dark, light, dark. This is light. Okay, there's light. And then we'll come in with the dark. And then this one will be light. Okay, I think I need to replace that. Anyways, you guys get what I'm trying to do there, right? So dark, light, and you're gonna do the same with these panels here and the dress. And then we've got, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we've got all of these skin tone markers. So it's an entire range of markers and the different skin tones, or even like earth element colors. So you don't just have ivory and copper, which is what we used to have. Now we've got all of these different skin tones that you can do. So you can make your angel any skin tone that you would like. You can see that there. And then at the very end, we took our Wink of Stella and applied that to the wings. So let me show you if I can get this to focus here. So you can see the wings there with just the white. I got a little bit of Wink of Stella on that piece right there. And then with the finished product, can you see the Wink of Stella and how it just glistens on those wings? It's absolutely stunning. So that's what you're gonna do with this, is you're just going to color it out. Let me try to focus my camera again. Color it as you wish, and then when you're done coloring, you're gonna punch it out. We've got a brand new 2 3/8 circle punch, and this fits perfectly right around there, and then you can punch it out. But remember my tip, remember my tip that it's easier to color first before you punch out, okay? Now, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna take this stamp set, Hope and Peace stamp set here, and you can select any sentiment that you'd like. I really liked the Weary World Rejoices because I just felt like it went well with the image. And I'm gonna ink this up. And just stamp that here. And then you're gonna get 2 pieces of ribbon. Now, you may not recognize this ribbon, or if you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, you may recognize it. It's actually some retired celebration ribbon that I had. And I was looking for ribbon that worked, and this one just seemed to work the best, to be honest. So I got it out of my retirement stash. And so that is actually, you know, I know I told you earlier that I really do try to focus hard on current products so that you can buy it, because I would hate for somebody to fall in love with this ribbon and be like, oh, now I can't buy it. But sometimes one of the perks, I guess, of coming to Sweet and Simple or getting a kit to go is that you will get to see some retired stuff every once in a while that you can't get your hands on, and it's kind of exclusive, right? So like last month, we had some designer series paper that I used on one of the cards that I just was in love with. Oh, this left a really weird mark on that one. That I was in love with and used again. So anyways, once you've got this punched out, colored and punched out, you're going to place it here with dimensionals on your card, and then that goes on your card front. I did pop this up, so let's do that. If I can find dimensionals. Wow, where'd they go? Oh, here they are. They're hiding on me. So I did pop this up onto the card over towards the left side. And of course, just because I do it this way doesn't mean you have to do it this way. And I think you guys all know that. Get really creative, and if you do get one of these kits in the mail and you do your own thing with it, I would love for you to share that over on my Honeybee Stampers Facebook page. I love that when people do that. So you could totally put that in the center like this if you wanted to. I mean, the notes don't make sense with it that way, but you know what I mean. And then we're just gonna kind of center that, or not center it, but put it towards the left side. Okay. So this card is really ready. After I color it, it's ready for me to reassemble it and then add these little really pretty silver gems. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. I'm right at the hour mark here. I'm gonna bring in the cards again so you guys can see what we've created today. I hope this inspired you. If you would like to purchase any other product, I would love for you to shop over on my store. There will be a link down in the comments section. Definitely join my email list if you want to learn more about Honeybee Happenings or any classes that I teach. And definitely like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. I really appreciate that so much. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to y'all again next month. Bye-bye.